With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They go play action with Wilson. He'll get that to the rookie from Minnesota, Rashad Bateman. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Marquise Brown is definitely a guy who can take the top off of the defense and make the big catches downfield. Also known as Hollywood, now in his third season from Oklahoma, wants to make more catches like the one we just saw there, the routine variety.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And the Ravens are going to have what looks to be a 1st and goal as he'll take this down to the 10-yard line. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
2nd down and goal. Wilson. Got a man. It's Brown. They'll still have a 3rd and goal now despite picking up 13 yards on that pass play. Here's Wilson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. Rashad Bateman with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They fake the give. Now Kaepernick. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. This seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Now Kaepernick. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick-6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick-6. I guess the only positive maybe than returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. To sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Now, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Play action. It's Kaepernick. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They overloaded that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll run on first down. Hines. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Kaepernick now to throw. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
A gain of 16 yards. First down.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession. 21-0 our score after 1. On first down, Kaepernick. He goes right back the way of Hilton. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Running left, Taylor. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Throwing is Kaepernick on 3rd down. He'll check this down to Hines. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
When the season began, the Colts went through a 3-man shuffle about who would emerge as the lead running back for them. It turned out to be Jonathan Taylor, the rookie out of Wisconsin. But when they needed a pass catcher out of the backfield, it was Nyheim Hines. 63 catches, 3rd most by a running back in the NFL.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they got...
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there on the catch and run. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Wilson, option right. And smartly going into the slide there. Wilson has enough for the first. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
They'll run with Dobbins. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They're going for it with Dobbins. And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And this Colts defense comes up with a goal line stand. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him. Remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where...
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's got some space here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play there on the screen pass. That's how you run the screen right there. The defenders get out of place, and then there's a lot of room to maneuver for your running back.
That's because all the defenders, or I should say the bulk of the defenders, were chasing the quarterback. Great disguise, great fake, got the screen out.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And there's a good catch for Nick Boyle. And yes, he sometimes gets overlooked, but that'll happen when you're playing in the shadow of Mark Andrews.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that will extend this big lead. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, it's Nyheim Hines. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. He's got it to Hilton. Breaks the tackle, now with Allen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
A final shot before half for Kaepernick. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. He's got a man, complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Kaepernick now on first down. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11 at the 41. Kaepernick going to throw. Flushed out right. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, hey, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll get that out wide to Duvernay. And some room to work. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And the ball is knocked out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in down. So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead. And
defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
3rd and long. It's Kaepernick. And my goodness, another interception. It's Eric Harris who picks it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Wilson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back now in Baltimore. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, and what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swore.
And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Ravens are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he returns this to the 22. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And now here's another interception. It's Eric Harris who picks it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Kaepernick. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Kaepernick. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. On the move to his left. And he goes out right around the 39. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Now Kaepernick, gotta have this one. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll find Pittman. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. On first down, it's Hines. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now Kaepernick. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Ravensons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And it's looking all the more likely that a 5th straight win is going to be in the cards. They'll try to run some time here with a 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it. Something we haven't really seen much of from him. An incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Rolling to his left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Ravens, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And next week they get to stay home again as the Los Angeles Chargers come to town. Meanwhile,